Yeah, it's tough right now, and you brought up a good point with Siakam coming back into the lineup. I think we can't really look into it too much, but the fact of the matter is, Nor, they're 0-4 with him returning, and I think it begs the question moving forward: are the Raptors going to stick with this small ball lineup? I actually want to get your thoughts on that because it's something that's been talked about heavily right now. Will this small ball experiment work with having Siakam at the 5, or would you maybe like to see the Raptors roll something else out where they maybe have to make a tough decision of benching either a Barnes or Gary Trent Jr. and put a guy like Birch, a traditional center, back into the lineup?
I think we've seen that small ball works for us in some areas, but other areas it doesn't. When you're going up against a team that has a lot of length and that also has a superstar big, when their superstars are bigger, taller people, you can't rely on small ball because they're going to plow their way through you. And I think when it comes to that, though, we kind of are. I don't know if we have uh, a proper answer for it currently because I think what we would have to do is trade someone in for that position. And that was going to come through Dragic, depending on what's going to happen with his deal, how wherever he goes. But currently, as they're set up to be, you can't also have Ken Burch playing 15 minutes a night. Like he's not going to be, it's not sustainable, unfortunately. I would love to have that happen, but it's not going to work out. So I think they're going to have to find a way, but I think ultimately trades are going to be made. What about you?
Yeah, that's a good point. I know it's not maybe the popular, choice here decision, but I would like to see Birch start. I think Siakam would be better suited at the 4, and then you're gonna have to make the unpopular choice of, yeah, are you gonna bench Barnes or Gary Trent Jr.? I said in the past it could be a Gary Trent Jr. because the bench isn't looking really good right now, so you could use that offensive firepower, but we've seen with Gary Trent Jr., it's night and day. He is so much better as a starter than he is a bench player. And then do
Yeah.
you dare consider bringing Barnes from off the bench, especially with how well he started this season? It's a tough decision for sure, but I've never been a fan of small ball. We've seen small ball teams never make it deep in the playoffs. I mean, the most recent example of that are that, Houston Rockets team from a couple seasons ago. So I do think ultimately the Raptors are going to have to address this. They're going to have to play a traditional center, and you're going to have to make a change to this lineup. So whether or not it's Gary or Barnes, I do think one of the two players have to come from off the bench. And I think it would be, it would allow for the Raptors to be set up for success down the road.